It's 1:17 a.m. You're lying in bed, phone glowing in your face, scrolling through house listings
Maybe I'm
again.
underestimating my income.
And every single place that doesn't look like
Maybe
it's
I can
one
make this
strong wind away from collapsing is priced at $500,000. You tap one. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms,
But deep down,
charming.
you already feel it.
The photos say
Something
otherwise.
doesn't add up.
Outdated kitchen, carpet that's seen things, a backyard the size of a parking spot.
Because this isn't a motivation problem.
$500,000. And suddenly, you're doing that thing again, running numbers in your head like somehow the math is going to change this time.
It's math.
Maybe I'm underestimating my income. Maybe I can make this work. But deep down,
Outdated
you
kitchen,
already feel it.
carpet that's seen
Something
things,
doesn't
a
add
backyard
up.
the size of a parking
And you're
spot.
right. Because this isn't a
$500,000.
motivation problem.
Let's strip this
It's not
down
a
to
budgeting
reality.
issue. It's math.
What a bank says
And the
you
math
qualify for.
is broken. Let's
And
strip
suddenly
this
you're doing
down
that
to
thing again,
reality.
running numbers
Not
in
what
your
a
head
bank
like
says you
somehow the math is
qualify
going to
for.
change this
Not what real estate agents call
Not what real estate
normal.
agents call normal.
Just what it actually takes to live in a $500,000 house without slowly losing your sanity. Start with the obvious. That price tag. $500,000. Most people aren't walking in with cash, so let's say you put down 10%. That's $50,000 up front, which for most people already feels like climbing Everest in flip-flops. But fine, you make it happen. Now you're left with a $450,000 loan. At today's rates, you're looking at roughly around $2,800 a month. And that's just the beginning, because owning a home isn't just a mortgage. It's a subscription you didn't realize you signed up for. Add property taxes, add insurance, add maintenance because things will break and they won't ask for permission first. Add PMI because you didn't drop 20% like the ideal buyer you're apparently supposed to be. Now stack it all together. You're not paying $2,800. You're paying something closer to $4,000 plus every single month. And that's on a good month. Now here's the question nobody asks honestly. What kind of income makes that comfortable? Not survivable, comfortable. Because there's a huge difference. Financial guidelines say your housing shouldn't eat more than about 25 to 30% of your income. So let's flip the equation. To handle $4,000 a month without stress, you're realistically looking at needing somewhere around $150,000 to $180,000 a year. Let that sink in, because the average household isn't even close to that. So what happens instead? People stretch. They convince themselves it'll work out. They trust the approval number the bank gives them. And technically, it does work. At first, you make the payments, you cut back a little, you adjust. Everything feels tight but manageable until life shows up. And it always does. The car needs repairs, a medical bill hits, something breaks in the house, income dips for a month. And suddenly that manageable payment turns into pressure, then stress, then constant anxiety. This is what nobody puts in the listing description. Not the kitchen, not the square footage, the feeling of living there. Checking your bank account before groceries, delaying repairs because you can't afford them right now, telling yourself next month will be easier, over and over. And the craziest part? We've normalized this. We call it just part of owning a home, as if being financially stretched to your limit is some kind of rite of passage. But step back for a second. Really think about it. What's the point of owning a home if it owns your entire financial life? Because real financial progress doesn't come from maxing yourself out. It comes from margin, from room to breathe, to save, to invest, to handle life without panic. And yet the system isn't built around that. It's built to get you in the door. The bank profits when you borrow. The agent profits when you buy. The system works even if you're barely holding it together. So here's the truth most people won't say out loud. For a huge percentage of people, a $500,000 house isn't just expensive, it's unrealistic. Not because you're failing, but because the numbers don't line up anymore. And that leads to a decision most people avoid. You don't have to play along. You don't have to stretch yourself thin just to say you own. You don't have to trade your peace of mind for a mortgage. Maybe you wait. Maybe you buy smaller. Maybe you rent and invest the difference. Maybe you just say, not right now. That's not losing. That's thinking clearly in a system that benefits from you not thinking at all. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't just to buy a house, it's to build a life that actually feels stable. And if the numbers don't support that, then the answer isn't to force it, it's to walk away.